Iron, we're out of time. If Anorak was bold enough to send Hitpick, that means that we're out of... Iron! Looks like the transfer worked. What has gotten into you? You've been playing Sonic for 2 weeks straight. How can this possibly be as interesting as saving your universe?
After watching Sonic 3, I've come to realize that Sonic is all I need.
What? Sonic 3 was not that good.
Oh, but Moana 2 was? How ironic. Coming from Mr. Glazer himself!
Oh my god.
Sonic 3 is one of the most fun theater experiences I've had in 2024. Hell, it's probably the best video game movie I've ever seen, right next to Gran Turismo. If you think I'm joking about Gran Turismo, don't judge a book by its cover. Go watch it now! Anyways, there's just so much to enjoy about this movie that it makes me feel happy as hell every time I watch it. And I'm not even a huge Sonic fan. I'm a filthy casual. But that doesn't stop me from enjoying the awesomeness that this movie has. Sonic 1 and 2, even though I like those movies, 1 being okay and 2 being good but not great, they had way too many issues that made it hard to watch at times. Something tells me that someone else was able to explain why that is. But while watching Sonic 3, I was able to notice they improved from the prior movie's mistakes. First thing being that the first half of this movie doesn't suck at all for me. We started off with a bang thanks to Shadow's prison escape, and as soon as that ends, we finally get to see a Sonic movie with fucking punk music!
It's Air Hedgehog!
It may not seem like much to you, but I was desperately waiting for this to happen in the last 2 movies, and we finally got it here. Even in the action scenes, we get to hear guitars for once, instead of music that would make even John Williams fall asleep in the prior 2 movies. This is what Sonic should be like, full of fast action with energetic music. And in general, I was enjoying my time with every character throughout the entire movie, because it wasn't as insufferable to me as the first 2. I think I noticed that the dialogue was written better to the point I didn't get ticked off while watching at all. But don't you worry, the writer still managed to sneak in a few lines to purposely make this movie worse.
Are you Detective Pikachu?
He does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika.
Konichi, what?
Person.
Hold on. You're not suggesting we team up with Dr. Real Butt Stink, are you?
And the award for worst Sonic line ever goes to...
Got fresh avocados in the crab. We'll make guac. Revenge guac.
That was fucking stupid. But I remember Sonic 1 and 2 being way more off-putting than 3 was to a significant level. Those movies were way more boring in comparison with their first hour, while Sonic 3 was actually very entertaining. So I have to give credit for that. I mean, I did feel glazed while watching the action scenes in that first hour. Speaking of action, this movie delivered on that so hard. Almost every big action scene in this movie was glorious to look at, with the amazing choreography and the camera work. I mean, look at the Tokyo scene with Sonic and Shadow. This makes the San Francisco chase in Sonic 1 look like Sonic Prime. And the Super Sonic and Shadow fight gave heavy Zack Snyder vibes from Man of Steel and the masterpiece Justice League movie. It's grand, it's big, it's epic, it's fun, and the tone for each scene fits perfectly, with the Tokyo scene perfectly giving us that vibe that's a slick superhero trying to capture a dark villain, and the Supersonic fight being some serious shit, life or death, godlike battle. And hell, this might be a hot take, but even Eggman versus his dad was pretty funny to watch. Even the smaller stuff was fun, like the gravity trap scene, the prison breakout, especially the Shadow and Sonic team up. All of it delivered fully. The characters in this movie are way better than they ever were in the last 2, especially Sonic once Tom gets knocked out by Shadow.
It'll be okay, Sonic.
it'll be okay? Tom is fighting for his life, and you think it'll be okay? Calm the fuck down!
I was not expecting to see the movie get this dark for a kids movie, and I enjoyed all of it. The dialogue, the delivery, the body language he had during the supersonic fight. He was truly out for blood during the last act, and I appreciate the subtle development of Sonic being more mature in this movie in comparison to the last two. You could really tell he grew up over time and doesn't really act like a kid anymore. Knuckles and Tails work super well with Sonic, as they should, especially Knuckles during the moment where Sonic wanted to get the Master Emerald. The human characters were barely here, and honestly I think that's a positive, because now that the writers got better at writing the real Sonic characters, they don't really need human scenarios for filler anymore, like with the wedding from Sonic 2 or Tom's wife being at her sister's house in Sonic 1. I wouldn't be surprised if the franchise does a Rise of the Planet of the Apes where Team Sonic leaves Tom and the rest to be superheroes living on their own when they grow up, like how Caesar left Will to start the revolution. Shadow was pretty cool and they captured his character very well, just like how Sonic 2 did with Tails and Knuckles, but the only thing I mixed on with that was Keanu's hit or miss performance. Sometimes he would be good with his delivery, and other times he's as emotionless as a rock.
Impossible.
You're a colorful bunch.
Excuse me? Why do you look like me?
I don't look like you. You look like me. Why do you look like me?
That was awful.
Eggman and Gerald though, they were funny as hell and I really enjoyed their chemistry together. Seeing them bond with those small moments where Gerald was being rough on him too was so entertaining to see.
Grand Geezer. Donde está? I'm right here. If you weren't family, I could have got you like a pheasant. I mean, try to keep up.
Seeing Stone be treated like shit was kind of sad because he worked so well with Eggman in the last two movies, but it was a side plot worth doing because the way Eggman redeems himself to Stone at the end was actually kind of heartwarming and sad in a way. Most people can agree that Jim Carrey gave his absolute best performance in this movie out of the whole franchise. And finally, the story in general was pretty good for the most part, and the reason why that is because it's basically a watered down version of Sonic Adventure 2, but with Sonic movie characters this time. However, one thing that still annoys me after watching it 2 times is how fast they got to the last act. I was already enjoying the plot with Team Sonic, learning about where Shadow came from, meeting Gerald, and having that whole Mission Impossible heist. Those parts were fine to me, but I hate how as soon as Eggman and Gerald get the key, they automatically go to space, and we're at the final part of the movie. Sure, it kind of lasted long, but I really think there could have been a little bit more build-up. Not just that, but seeing Wade only for a few seconds after watching that entire Knuckles show was kind of insulting. I went out of my way to watch that show, only to see it live up to nothing in Sonic 3. I have a few ideas as to how they could have had a cool moment, and it all surrounds getting the Master Emerald. Wade was holding the entire time apparently, and instead of just making him play hockey with the Emerald, it would have been way funnier if he lost it somewhere that Sonic, Shadow, and Wade would have to race to find the Emerald or something. Or maybe make Wade surprisingly do a good job of keeping the Emerald away from Sonic because of the training he had in the Knuckles show. I don't know. These ideas probably would make the movie a 1 out of 10, but they should have just had something to make this movie not feel rushed to me. Also, is it just me, or did they play Live and Learn 10 fucking times in this movie? Maybe even more than that. Apparently, there's like a little hint of City Escape, but bro, it's Sonic, a franchise that famously has a billion classic songs. You couldn't have more variety besides those 2 fucking songs and Green Hill Zone? Whatever. Aside from that, I love Sonic 3 a ton, so I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Hopefully the series doesn't peak here, because there's definitely potential for even better movies with even more improvements. Starting from not having the next evolution of blackface in Sonic 4.
I don't know. Every rose has its thorns.
What the fuck is this guy saying?
I'm just saying, it has some huge flaws. It's just not perfect.
Aren't we all just happy to hear Omni's opinion? It's so valuable.
Can you just listen?
If I, Anorak, called Sonic 2 schizophrenic, Sonic 3 suffers from DID. Seriously. I feel like a second team of writers sneaks into Paramount HQ, stacked under a trench coat to take over the second hour after the first team of 9-year-olds finishes their box of crayons. And they get away with it. Twice! This movie started at a 5 out of 10 for me. A 5. Do you know what that means? I felt nothing. I didn't care or not care or feel anything at all about this movie for the first 40 minutes. If it was found in an ancient tomb as the greatest treasure in the Western world, wouldn't care. If it eviscerated the lives and families of everyone involved and became a cursed tome of limitless rot,
What?
I wouldn't care. I feel like this is some interdimensional cable made for some audience I could never imagine being a part of. But by the end, 9 out of fucking 10. That is how much the subsequent hour carried. That 40 minutes of pure, clean-cut mid only brought it down a point. It was dumbfounding. So, why a 5? It feels like I'm being told when to feel what, and none of it is convincing or sells me. The movie literally opens with forced emotional conflict, trying to show Shadow as this tormented thing and trying to win sympathy using the little girl instead of actually earning it by this point. So why even force it in yet? Could have done just as well not to reveal all this until later, making the viewer experience piecing together Shadow, his origin and motivation, becoming much more earned and exciting. And this is just a personal nitpick, but I kind of hate when these movies try to make something look cool or dark or intimidating using these laughably cartoonish models. It kind of reminds me of the 12-year-olds on Tumblr taking Pinkie Pie and covering her in blood and black eyes and thinking that makes me forget that she's a fucking cartoon pony. I'm sorry, but the rubber hose bodies and big squishy mouths are never going to be hard to me. It's hard to suspend my disbelief.
You are a sad, strange little man.
The same problem I have with Kingdom Hearts, for example, sobbing at Donald the Duck's tragedy. We get the same kind of presumption of investment in this scene, which infuriated me to no end and reminded me of the similarly forced boat fishing scene in the last movie. What the hell? You can't just write your entire movie set of themes and emotional and personal conflicts for your main character within the first 10 minutes of your script. Especially not when these conflicts of making the right choice and not succumbing to darkness were never a part of the character until now, when you wanted to make that the plot to complement Shadow. It is ham-fisted and out of nowhere, and I wasn't sold. And you know what's the craziest part? I was sold on that exact same arc with the exact same themes later in the movie when they actually earned that conflict. Why shove it in early? Is this made for brain-rotted YouTube short viewers?
Well, duh.
These are the things that make me realize this is a kid's movie. And I mean that pejoratively. And these are not the only cases. All through the first half, we get jokes, adventure, and dynamics between characters who I honestly feel like have a boring, played out, and painfully uninteresting set of tricks. But this shouldn't be news. Anne or I have not been shy about not caring at all about the CG characters, except for when they inexplicably have the best writing known to man.
The humans are the best part of these movies. They carried Sonic 1 and they're barely in the first half of this movie and we're forced to spend all this time with bum-ass Tails and bum-ass Sonic.
But I promised you peak, and so did all the popular buzz. So where is it? Well, caked into 1, now 2 beautiful young boys. Well, first off, I agree with almost everything Iron said unless I specifically said otherwise. I mean, he said it perfectly. The action, the music, the shots, they all worked better than ever. And I also really appreciated the continuity in working within this world, like with the same consistent gun conflicts and lore, Commander Walters, etc. I think it's really immersive as a trilogy. But anyway, Jim Carrey. Sonic 1 Dr. Robotnik is back, and he is better than he has ever been. He has approached a new height in playing this character, and actually being funny and actually having pretty great writing.
Where'd you go, Hedgehog? I wasn't finished trauma dumping.
And getting to play off of himself as granddaddy and grandbaby Eggman, the two of them, the both of them have a palpable chemistry that is genuinely hilarious and brings Eggman to a level of chemistry and charm he has never reached before.
I'm a chip of the old block. I'm a chip of the old block. I'm a chip of the old block.
There's even some hints of the fun and creative visual humor and fun of the human world I first fell in love with, without taking over from the Sonic-centric story. During the whole gun headquarters part of the story, Team Sonic finally stops pretending they're not peak and starts to have good chemistry again, and plays off Tom and Maddie, who themselves are great, hapless and charming as ever. And you're just sitting there having a great time with everyone on screen. And this is the worst it's going to be from then on. But what shocked me most about this movie, though, and the reason it hops from an 8, the best a Sonic movie could ever be from the quality of the first two, to a 9, is the story and the themes in this movie. I spent the whole movie hating on Shadow as a played out character with forced emotional baggage. But from the minute he kills Tom onwards, he becomes super believable, complex, and well acted out of nowhere. In a second, I believed every beat they tried to force earlier, and it only gets better after. And then, right on time, is that peak scene I mentioned earlier, with Sonic occupying a role as an actual character with more than one trait. Similar to him getting character when helping Knuckles through his arc in the last one, but way better now, as he reaches his lowest in everything that happens between him and Shadow afterwards. From the Chaos Emeralds to the fight to the final decision, it was all gripping and gave Sonic a real and believable character, and gave them a real, believable relationship. But really, it was Robotnik, which I truly couldn't have predicted in all my years. His arc with Gerald and Agent Stone was moving, and not just that, but somehow it was truly believable without losing who Robotnik is, both of them. The arc felt earned, exciting, and genuine, true to who he was in every sense. His final broadcast to Stone, like Iron said, truly delivered on the chemistry and love-hate of the first two movies, him getting cast aside and bullied in this movie, only to reveal his purpose as central to Robotnik's arc. So unnecessarily hard, and so earned. So yeah, Sonic 3 started like some more Sonic bullshit, and ended giving the most real story, emotion, and nuance these movies have ever had. So, a 9 out of 10. So, satisfied? Look at that, a higher score than yours.
Yeah, so it was peak. Yeah, it was big, Yeah! So, what do we do next? I mean, the next big movie doesn't come out till February, and I just beat Sonic, so...
Evil Germ!
Oh shit, yeah, sorry about that.
So, I made this clone. Yeah, well, that was because there's like this three strike thing, and you were the principal. That like there's like a tension, or it's just an admiration. The whole point is like,
Get to the fucking point! It was that easy! Okay, two gay guys wearing matching button-ups. How complex and thought-provoking was that? Oh, wow! Now that we know all that, what do we do about it?
Oh yeah, tough guy? You think you're ready? Come on then. Come on, let me have it. No off guard this time.
Alright. Fuck. Fuck. Shit!
What?
Fuck. 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 Where the fuck is he?
it's not enough.
So you just expect me to see my universe get destroyed and not do anything about it?
That's what you said last time. But no, I've got one last trick. Now, this might kill you, but...
Kill me?
Without it, Evil Germ will kill you. So take your pick, a chance of death with me or slaughter by Evil Germ.
I'll do it. Okay.
Here. Hold still! Hold still!
That was it?
What? You wanted more?
What? You just tortured me half to death and nothing happened!
Nothing. Nothing? Alright. Watch this. Picture your bedroom. No, wait, scratch that. Picture your bed. Yeah. Picture your bed. Focus on the wrinkles on the pillow casings. And then just snap.
That's it? Just imagine it's that easy?
Come on, try it. Iron. Try again. Try it again and bring your clothes with you.
I did it!
See?
It works!
It works.
We can fight evil germ now?
Not like that. Are you sure you're ready for this? Iron, it doesn't have to.
It has to be me. This was my fault.
Whenever you're ready.
What? I can't see him. And that perverse communication! Find it! Where is it? Listen, Professor. You just made a big mistake. Do you even know what you're doing? Me? Do you even know who you're talking to? Oh, please. That's right. I am no teacher. And I'm sure as hell not gonna be your next victim either. Do you think I care about who or what gets destroyed? This isn't about you. This isn't about your pathetic YouTube channel. This is about correction. This is about everything. You're right. But you will. You'll care when I stick my hand right through your chest and stop your heart myself. This whole thing, there's only one thing to correct. Only one mistake that needs to be wiped away. Don't get it twisted. All I care about is tearing into you and ripping my life back! Try. You'll see there's more to this than just teleportation. Maybe, but you'll see that there's more to me than you. I made you.